Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube page. My name is Harshit Gautam, and I'm working as a data scientist in AiSPRY. So, this is another Monday, and we are live with our discussion on project explanation. So, as we all know that whenever we do a project in AiSPRY and 360DigiTMG, we discuss about the project, like our experience, what was the problem statement, was the architecture, okay, what were different steps that we took to solve the problem, right? What kind of data we used. So we'll be discussing the same. So we shall start. So I'll start with problem statement. Whenever we talk about a project in field of data science, we simply talk about a problem that we solved using machine learning concepts, right? So in this case, we had a problem that whenever our client tries to sell their products from snacks industry into a particular region or country, okay, so every country, every city, every state in different locations, they do have their personal requirements, right? And their personal conditions that a manufacturer of those snacks should be meeting. Only then they will be allowed to sell their products, their snacks in that particular location. So whenever there is a new batch of a particular product or products, and sample will be sent to that location, and if sample is not meeting the criteria, for example, amount of sugar, amount of oil is being used in the product, okay, amount of lead or any kind of product. For example, a few years ago, we got a news that Maggie is using 4% lead, right? Which was not allowed according to medical science. And that is why in India and many countries, Maggie was banned for some time. Later on, they fulfilled the criteria and they used only 2% lead. So same way, my client was facing this challenge that multiple times their batch was not being allowed to be sold. So first of all, we had to predict that whether this batch will be going to being sold or not, whether it will be allowed or not. Second thing that we had to also predict what are the reasons with the maximum sale. Okay, so talking about project architecture or project flow. So what we did is we started with domain understanding. Okay, so in this we made a lot of research on the domain and business problem, how this business works, what are different key components of this business. All of these things we made a research over. So that was part of business understanding. Then slowly we moved with data collection. So while making the research, we understood that, okay, what are different variables which are responsible for the output. It means whether the uh, order is going to be selected or not, right? Once we got the data, we started with data preparation. So we did EDA and we did data preparation. Both the things we did. While performing EDA, we got a lot of business insights, which we implemented to improve the business model. And using statistical insights, which we gained while performing EDA, we pre-processed the data, whatever problems we had, like missing values, outliers, or non-normal distribution of data. So we used to solve all those problems, right? Now, once that was done, we simply went for model building and model evaluation. So we performed ML, in which we had to simply classify, like we had a classification problems. So we explored with different models and we experimented with different models. And once it was done, we evaluated the model and we went for deployment. there were a lot of challenges which I will be discussing about. Okay. Talking about business objective and business constraint. So simply we had to maximize the approval accuracy, right? And we had to minimize the load deviation because there were a lot of challenges in this industry. My client used to manufacture, like produce products, eatable products, right? And if batch is delayed for any reason, there are a lot of products which are getting expired. Now they're not edible anymore, right? Talking about technical stacks, so we used Python to solve this problem, whether for data understanding or data pre-processing or machine learning deployment for everything. Then data handling, for that we used pandas, numpy. Then for visualization kind of things we used matplotlib, seaborn. For machine learning, the most important thing we used scikit-learn, then XGBoost, random forest, decision tree, and we also tried with something called as AutoML, in which we tried with teapot model. Okay, and these are other things, technical stacks which we used in this project. Now, talking about data collection and data understanding. So we had a lot of variables, some showcasing top five uh, things here. So we have product information, in which we understood what are different SKUs, product types, variants, and packaging types. Then region, what are different regions, and order details like MOQ, then quantity ordered. So these things were there. Okay. These are different variables we had, like order ID, product SKU, and order date, approval date, dispatch date. Okay, we had approval status. So this was the target variable for us. Approval status. This was the target variable. Now this is the data dictionary which was there. Talking about data pre-processing, so in this data, we had the major challenge with respect to data pre-processing because outliers we had, those were not being treated after applying multiple techniques. Like we tried with visualization and its different variants and nothing was working. In that case, what we did was, like how we overcame this challenge, we applied multiple steps together. Okay, then we also handled missing values in this, right? And multiple things they worked. Talking about model building, so we used models like decision tree classifier, random forest classifier, XGBoost, logistic regression, teapot, and almost every model was giving us good enough accuracy. But the best models that I was getting after training was decision tree classifier, XGBoost, and teapot classifier. Okay, and for deployment, I went with this XGBoost classifier, and for deployment, I used Streamlit. So talking about this project on the top of everything, this was a very interesting and challenging project because we had like kind of a lot of variables. At the same time, we had very unorganized data. And that was the challenge because data was not ready in a position that we could pre-process. We had to first organize the data. Then we were only able to apply machine learning and make some predictions. So this was overview of this project in which I worked. And I tried to deliver some meaningful insights from the project. Thanks all for watching the video and happy learning. Wish you all the best. Keep revising your topics, okay? And start applying for job roles if you have completed your syllabus and projects from 360 and AiSPRY. And wish you all the best. Thank you. Bye-bye.